What's up, everyone? ODC, it's me here, and be sure to check out BigBoyCollectibles.com for all your action figure needs, whether it's DC Collectibles, Star Wars The Black Series, Marvel Legends, or G.I. Joe. BigBoyCollectibles.com will have it. Yo, Joe!
What's going on, everyone? ODC, it's me here, and today's review we're going to take a look at the WWE Elite Collection Hall of Fame series. This is Papa Shango and the Ultimate Warrior from WrestleMania 8. Comes in the Hall of Fame 2-pack style packaging. Nice picture of both Ultimate Warrior and Papa Shango on the side. On the back has a brief little read-up of them. If you want to pause it and read it, go ahead. Actually, I'll bring it in a little bit more. Go ahead. And let's not waste any more time. Let's get this 2-pack open, and we'll be right back. Okay, and we're back with both figures out of packaging, and I have to say that both of them look pretty good. I originally missed out on Papa Shango, so this was a must-get for me as far as this 2-pack. I'm sure a lot of people that actually probably have the original release of Papa Shango are probably like, oh, damn it, why couldn't we just got the Warrior? But really, it makes sense, and at least it's themed towards WrestleMania 8. So, and they also did have a feud for a little while. I believe, actually, Papa Shango did cast some sort of voodoo spell on the Ultimate Warrior, which actually gave him, like, I think at one segment, it gave him, like, stomach pains. He started vomiting, like, green bile or something like that, which was pretty, pretty interesting for the time, I guess. I was never really into the feud too much. I know it was short-lived, and it wasn't very well done. One thing I do have to say about the figure, remember him being a little bit larger at that stage of his career. But anyway, I digress. I guess you could call that a nitpick, but just kind of pointing out, and I'll actually link a photo. I think both figures turned out pretty well. I do like the tattoos on here, and I'm pretty sure that this might just be a re-release. If it's not, then I'll post a reference photo showing the two right now. And then looking at the back portion, all the paint on him looks really crisp and clean. No issues there with any of that. So I do like the designs on his leg. That looks really cool. The tattoos look really crisp. No bleeding or any silliness going on there. Even his little, I guess if you could call this a staff. I don't know. I'll just call it a staff. I'll go with that. His necklace came out very well done. I would have liked maybe a little bit more paint shading going on throughout the necklace. Maybe some little bit of black shading to accent some of the cracks and crevices in the skull and the bones and stuff like that. But not the worst thing in the world. Like I said, that's a nitpick. The hat is removable. You can take the hat off, which looks pretty nice with the hat on or off. But the hat itself looks pretty nice as well. So, that looks pretty cool. Very simplistic, just a top hat with a little bit of a design on the front, and it's pretty accurate to what he was wearing at the time. The face came out pretty well done as well. I think it looks really good. Very creepy. But, pretty nicely done overall. He's got your typical Elite articulation. I'll go through both of their articulation in a little bit, but getting to the Ultimate Warrior here, this is probably the selling point of the 2-pack, seeing as we haven't got this Ultimate Warrior before, and we got a new head sculpt. We actually get 2 sets of tassels here, which is a pleasant surprise, but it actually does hinder his arms from going further down than this, which is kind of a little bit upsetting. As you can see right here, this is pretty much the max. But the other thing to point out is that actually the way that this body is sculpted, this buff body, you can't really get the arms to go further down than that anyway. So it's actually not the tassel's fault. That's something I wanted to point out. But I do like that they gave us 2 sets of tassels here. I think that actually accents the figure and makes, I don't know, him look a little bit better than the previous versions that we got, which were just 1 set of tassels with multiple strings hanging down. So that looks really cool. The gauntlets look, or I should say the wristbands look really nice. At least got a Warrior logo on there. I need to back off my lighting a little bit. The Warrior logo on there with a little bit of white accent going throughout. It's got some Warrior logos on his crotch, and then the same Warrior logos on his knee pads. And then we get some turquoise and purple color going throughout the boots, and the boots look really good. He looks very accurate to what I remember him having. Going back to the face, they did a really good job with the paint shading in the hair. Definitely a very well done job. This is a really good looking figure, to be honest with you. But I really do like the skin tone that they decided to go with. I think this fits him, as he was always pretty much tan for the most part. And on the back it says the Ultimate Journey, which is pretty cool. I like that they included the tassels on his knee pads as well. That's a really nice touch. This is actually just a really beautifully done figure. If I had one thing to nitpick, it's that I can't get the arms all the way down. He's kind of doing this kind of like gorilla pose. I'm not a big fan of that, especially when you put his arms out straight like so. It's very unnatural looking, kind of like he's like too buff, where he can't get his arms to touch his sides. So I'm just kind of bend his arms in as much as possible, and I guess you can, if you bring his arms up, you can get it in a little bit more, but as you can see, when I bring them out, it just wants to poke them out, so I'm just going to kind of bring the elbows in. It makes it look a little bit better. So I mean, he might take up a little bit more shelf room in your collection, but definitely 2 beautiful figures right here, especially if you missed out on Papa Shango. This is your second chance to get him, and I'm thoroughly happy that they did release him, so I don't have to go on eBay and spend an arm and a leg to go get him. As far as their articulation does go, the head can swivel full 360 rotation. It does have a head tilt. Well, we'll see. We got some job turkeys. Oh, no job turkeys. No. But he does have that tilt, which is really nice. It does give that little bit of extra character in the figure itself. But the arms go up, down, full 360 rotation. It does have a bicep swivel, a single jointed elbow, which I really wish Mattel would give us double jointed elbows at this aspect of the game. And there's a wrist swivel, a wrist hinge. There's an ab crunch. My dog just farted, by the way. It's really gross. He's right behind me. Waist swivel. He's got T-jointed hips, which go out and forward. They don't go back due to the shaping of the sculpting of the rear end there. Upper thigh swivel. Double jointed knees. Sorry, I can't stop laughing. Ankle hinge, which points the toe. Pretty much you can get it all the way back. These boot tassels actually don't get in the way. You can actually hike them up if you need to. So there's that. And then he does have the ankle pivot, which we're all used to with Mattel. The minuscule, I should say, ankle pivot. But he looks really good. Pretty happy with this figure overall. He's definitely, like I said, the selling point of the 2-pack. And let's move on to Papa Shango's articulation now. Full 360 at the head. No jive turkeys. And he does have the head tilt. Arms going a full 360 rotation. Let me get this out of his hand. Get out of there. Full 360 rotation in the arm. Bicep swivel. Single jointed elbow. Wrist swivel. Wrist hinge. Ab crunch. Waist swivel. T-jointed hips, which go out, forward, upper thigh swivel, double jointed knee, boot swivel, ankle hinge, and ankle pivot. So pretty much the same thing as him. Different range of motion in the ab crunches, obviously. The last thing I'm going to touch on is his little, I don't know what you call this. I'm calling it a staff. I won't call it a club or something like that. I don't know what the technical term for this would be, but let me know in the comments below. No big deal. But it looks good. I would have liked a little bit more paint shading going throughout this portion of here. Maybe some black accent to go throughout here. That would have been nice, especially on the wood grain part right here, but this is pretty much just like a rubbery plastic type material. But he holds it fine, no big deal, and I'm actually glad that they utilized the open hand and a fist hand. I'm glad they gave us that with him. So, but final thoughts, I would definitely recommend picking this 2-pack up for multiple reasons. And I said this multiple times in the review, but I'm going to say it again. If you missed out on him, this is a good way to get a second chance to get him. And I mean, he's going to be the selling point. There is no version of this Ultimate Warrior out from WrestleMania 8. And I like the theme here. It's really cool. And I know both these guys just made an appearance at the end with Hogan versus Sid at the end of the WrestleMania 8. But still, a solid 2-pack. I really do like it. And yeah, that's pretty much it for me. 2 thumbs up here. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Thank you for watching as always. And I'll see you guys on the flip side.